Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to Sloka Day. Today's Shloka number 61 of chapter 18. Ishvara sarva bhutanam
Ishvara sarva bhutanam
Hriddesherjuna tishtati
Hriddesherjuna tishtati
Brahmayan sarva bhutani
Brahmayan sarva bhutani
Yantrarudhani mayaya.
Yantrarudhani mayaya.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ishvaraha,
Ishvaraha,
the Supreme Lord,
the Supreme Lord,
Sarva Bhutanam,
sarva bhutanam,
of all living entities,
of all living entities,
Hrit Deshe,
Hrit Deshe,
in the location of the heart,
in the location of the heart,
Arjuna,
Arjuna,
O Arjuna,
O Arjuna,
Tishtati,
Tishtati,
resides,
resides,
Brahmayan,
Brahmayan,
causing to travel,
causing to travel,
Sarva Bhutani,
Sarva Bhutani,
all living entities,
all living entities,
Yantra,
Yantra,
on a machine,
on a machine,
Arudhani,
Arudhani,
sorry, I think there's a mistake here in the word translation. Arudhani,
Arudhani,
being placed, Mayaya,
Mayaya,
under the spell of material energy.
under the spell of material energy.
Translation: the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna.
The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna,
and is directing the wanderings of all living entities
and is directing the wanderings of all living entities
who are seated as on a machine
who are seated as on a machine
made of the material energy.
Made of the material energy.
Prabhupada writes in the purport, Arjuna was not the supreme knower, and his decision to fight or not to fight was confined to his limited discretion. Lord Krishna instructed that the individual is not all in all. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, or He Himself, Krishna, as the localized Supersoul, sits in the heart, directing the living being. After changing bodies, the living entity forgets his past deeds. But the Supersoul, as the knower of the past, present, and future, remains the witness of all of his activities. Therefore, all the activities of living entities are directed by this Supersoul. The living entity gets what he deserves and is carried by the material body, which is created in the material energy under the direction of the Supersoul. As soon as a living entity is placed in a particular type of body, he has to work under the spell of that bodily situation. A person seated in a high-speed motor car goes faster than one seated in a slower car, though the living entities, the drivers, may be the same. Similarly, by the order of the Supreme Soul, material nature fashions a particular type of body to a particular type of living entity so that he may work according to his past desires. The living entity is not independent. One should not think himself independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The individual is always under the Lord's control. Therefore, one's duty is to surrender, and that is the injunction of the next verse. So essentially, we cannot escape the fact that whatever activities that we perform, there is going to be a repercussion for that. And how is the repercussion coming? When we change the body. And how does the Supersoul guide us to the next body? Well, he instructs Maya Devi to give us that next body. So in the 15th chapter, the Lord says you'll get a particular type of eyes, particular type of nose, mouth, teeth, etc. And this will come in different forms and shapes. So therefore, the Lord is saying here, you surrender to the super soul within you. Actually, that is what we are getting to right now. Emphasizing the dependence of the soul upon God, Shri Krishna says, Arjuna, when you choose to obey me or not, whether you choose to obey me or not, your position will always remain under my dominion. In the sense, if you obey me, then I am there in your life. I am directing your life. If you don't obey me, even then I am instructing Maya Devi to send whatever you deserve your way. Either which way I am in control. That is what the Lord is saying. In the sense, ultimately we cannot escape the Lord. Right? Either we escape towards Him or we are trying to escape away from Him. Either which way, if we are escaping away from Him, then, we are in the clutches of Maya. If we are trying to escape Maya, then we are getting closer to the Lord. Either which way, the Lord is directing the activities of the jivatma. The body in which you reside is a machine made from my material energy. Based upon your past karmas, I have given you the kind of body you deserved. I too am seated in it, and I'm noting all your thoughts, your words, and deeds. So, I will also judge whatever you do in the present to decide your future. Do not think you are independent of me in any condition. Hence, Arjuna, it is in your self-interest to surrender to me. So, so if we have to fight Maya, or if we have to be at the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, then the choice becomes obvious. We don't want to fight Maya. We want to take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So the choice is clear, but still, even if the choice is clear, it doesn't mean it is that easy for us to just take shelter of the Supreme Lord and have that much faith that, we don't have doubts every now and then. So I really like this commentary by His Grace Chaitanya Sharan Prabhu. Oftentimes we think, why is Krishna doing these things to us? He's not doing these things to us. He's doing things for us. So if you just change the word from to to for, your entire perspective changes. Just a mere matter of 1 or 2 alphabets and the meaning changes. Why is Krishna doing this to me? We may get this question when we are faced with problems and have some nominal faith in Krishna as the universal controller. To understand the answer, we need to first comprehend our current situation as explained by Gita wisdom. We are all spiritual souls whose present tenure in material existence is a diseased phase in our life of eternity. Our own past ungodly desires and karmic misdeeds are the infections underlying our sick state. When Srila Prabhupada says, we are all diseased, so when we come to the temple, it's like the spiritual hospital for us to be cured. That is one of the important reasons why chanting, hearing, and taking sadhu sangha is important, because that's all part of the instructions that the Lord has given us on how to get rid of this infection. What is this infection? It is our own past desires, our karmic deeds and misdeeds. These are all the factors that play into how we are trapped here. So the medicine is coming in multiple shapes. It starts with chanting. Actually, it starts with hearing, then chanting, and then trying to remember the Lord, and goes on from there. He is the supreme doctor who's constantly and competently treating us. So when we go in front of the doctor and if we have some boil or something, then he's going to take aggressive action. He's going to tell you the best thing to do for you is to really, cut off that boil. So it seems like a harsh treatment. But we don't challenge the doctor because the doctor is the expert. He will tell you, well, if you don't treat it now, the infection is going to spread. So similarly, the Lord is saying, if you don't treat yourself now through chanting, through hearing, through doing seva, then your infection is only spreading. So we simply have to follow the doctor's instructions. When a patient is in pain while being under a doctor's treatment, the doctor doesn't cause the pain. The disease does. The doctor is just there as an instrument to take care of you. What is causing your pain? The disease. It is not another person who's responsible for your pain. It is your disease that is causing your pain. Of course, the doctor may do some things to the patient that may be painful, like giving injections or conducting surgeries. But the purpose is not to cause pain. The purpose is to cure pain. As the doctor is working on behalf of the patient, the doctor is not doing things to the patient, but doing things for the patient. So similarly, this is how we should see the Lord's presence in our life, that He is doing things for us, for our benefit. He is not doing things to you to torture you. Although externally it may seem like torture, the bodily platform it may seem like unbearable torture and pain. But it's just the medicine that the Lord has prescribed for you. So each of us have particular prescription or for our disease condition. The more severe the disease, then the more intense the medicine, the more intense the prescription, the more intense the treatment. So we have to see the Lord's role in our life as a doctor. He's helping us. He's not here to cause you pain. The same applies to Krishna as regards the things that happen to us. To be of the best aid to us, He stays round the clock with us in our heart, as the Bhagavad Gita indicates. So just like these emergency doctors, sometimes they work 24/7 shifts or more than that. They are always there in case something happens. So similarly, Krishna is always there with us as a super soul, trying to guide you, trying to help you, trying to treat you. He guides us to act in ways that alleviate the pain, not aggravate it. Though He may sometimes let things happen to us that are painful, He is not the cause of the pain. Our karmic mistakes are. He is the cure, offering us knowledge through Gita wisdom and solace through His remembrance. Such philosophical understanding and devotional realization raise our faith in Krishna from nominal, which means just incidental, to substantial. When we thus understand His benevolent role, we free ourselves from resentment and fill ourselves with empowerment to face life's problems. So very beautifully and appropriately explained by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, the role that the Lord plays in our life as the super soul. So He is there as a doctor to treat you. Sometimes His treatment may seem to be painful. He is not the cause of our pain. He is simply treating the external disease that is manifested in so many different ways over so many different lifetimes. So here the Lord is saying, hey Arjuna, I am there in everyone's heart. I am actually directing. And what is Prabhupada translating this? The wandering of all living entities. We're going here, we're going there in search of answers, in search of happiness. But Krishna is saying, why don't you look within you? I'm there, seated in this yantra that you have acquired. that is made of material energy. I am also seated in that car that you're driving. So you can always call to me for help and guidance. So that's the essence of this particular shloka, that Krishna is asking Arjuna to depend on him as the Paramatma.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.